we have DNA tests. All right, cool.
She was
but
loyal.
humans have evolved over thousands of years, right? How do I know that baby's mine? The easiest and only way for me to know that child, which I now have to take care of, which is supposed to share my name, which I have to invest years into trying to make a prodigy of me, which I have to give my empire to, which I have to give my money to, that son, everything I've ever worked for, everything on my back goes to him. How do I know he's mine? The easiest way is if the woman's a virgin. That's probably one of the only ways, right? So we now live in a new modern society where you can trick with science. You can take birth control, you can get DNA tests, you can sleep with all these men and get away with it, etc. But this is not the way things ever were. And if you accept that, then you must accept that evolutionarily, biologically, I would argue that there is a mental component to all of these things. And I want to give you all a thought experiment because I'm treating you like adults. If I told you, here's a girl, you've never met her, and she's had sex with 1,000 men, do you imagine her to be a rational, stable girl, or do you imagine her to be crazy?
She's got 1,000 there. I mean, she's
crazy,
man.
She's nuts.
Yeah, she's not there.
Okay, so a woman can't. So let's approach this as professionals. Here's the point. In history, if a woman slept with a man and she got pregnant, she was with that man forever. That was it. There was no birth control. There was no DNA test.
Correct.
Are not prepared mentally to go through endless breakups. They sleep with a guy, they have a kid, they're stuck with that guy forever. Men, since the dawn of time, have been sleeping with different women. We're evolved for it. We aren't. A woman cannot go through life having endless sex with loads of different men and not take genuine mental damage. They end up crazy, they end up on antidepressants, they end up being alcoholics. Anyone who sleeps with 100 men ends up literally nuts. You're not evolved to do that. And if you find a woman who has done it, talk to her for 5 minutes. You'd be like, bitch, you're nuts.
Could I offer something real quick? I think that's why Judaism is only passed down through the mother, technically, right? Because that's the only way that you can confirm that that child is actually Jewish because it was birthed by the Jewish mother. You don't know with the father who actually impregnated her at the end of the day. Like, quite literally, Judaism to this day, it is only passed down through the mother.
Do you think that's an interesting point?
Yeah.
I have to be careful talking about them because I go to jail. But do you believe a woman can have sex with 1,000 men and retain her sanity?
No.
This is a simple yes or no question.
No.
Because I know men who have slept with 1,000 women and they're fine. Can a woman sleep with 1,000 different men, 1,000 different inside of her, and retain her sanity and happiness as an individual? It's a yes or no question.
No, not even 100 in my opinion. Not even 100.
You lose your mind. You're not evolved to go through breakups. You're not evolved to do this. You're supposed to have sex with a man, get pregnant, be with that man. You're not supposed to be sleeping with a new man every 3 months. This is all modern bullshit, and that's why everyone's losing their minds. How many women are on antidepressants? How many women admit they have a mental condition? How many women admit to being depressed? All of this comes down to the amount of dick they're taking. None of these should be all these dudes. That's why they're all mental. That's literally why all these women are fucking crazy.
I think a lot of people agree with you on that. No, because when a woman has a male-centered friend, what is the first thing you do when you become friends with someone? You notice if they're male-centered, and you do not want to be friends with them.
Right.
And so I feel like we can all agree to a certain extent. If a person is a certain amount of male-centered, it is an unhealthy friendship because men will become everything about the friendship.
I had a friend who had over 100 buddies, and she's never been in a real relationship. And now she's not my friend. She actually f***ed me over in a major way recently. And should I be surprised? Because she's a crazy
No.
Because girls who have...
Okay, you're right. And then let's apply this to something else, right? Relationships are difficult and people argue. We can all agree with that.
Yes.
Have endless options, even more than high-tiered males, even more than famous men. You can go out and get 100 men a day. You have unlimited options, right? So if you're not prepared to struggle and suffer through the difficulties of a relationship with a man, you always have the option to go out there and get a new man right away. So as soon as the stigma attached with a new disappears, because your first 3 or 4 men you sleeping with a new guy is a big deal. But once you slept with enough men, it's not a big deal anymore. So you argue with your man, and he pisses you off because men annoy you and people argue, and your instant option, your instant default is I'll just go get a new dick with a new man. This guy. Men lose their ability to even be loyal or pair bond or stick through any kind of difficulty with a man if they sleep with too many men.
Can we talk about pair bonding? Actually, that's important. I want to ask, what's your opinion, Andrew? How many bodies can a girl have before she can no longer pair bond, in your personal opinion?
What is pair bonding?
That's a good question. Genuinely be in love with and genuinely obsessed with.
Yes.
Okay.
2, 3. I'm not gonna lie.
What's
Wait. So
It's just,
I'm still confused on what it is.
That's how you see women.
It exists in the animal kingdom, right? I mean, no, Andrew explained. He'll be better.
You know, everybody's different in their own way.
Yeah, ladies,
Slow real time,
let him explain it, then he can tell you.
No, I'll listen. How do I see that's negative? I just said shouldn't be promiscuous. Is that a negative idea?
No, I agree.
Is that a negative opinion?
That's your personal opinion.
What have I said that's negative about anything I've said so far?
Nothing.
No, you're trying to enlighten to not be promiscuous.
I'm genuinely asking. If I said something offensive, please let me know.
You're making it seem like we're.
No, I'm saying you shouldn't be.
Men are holding it too.
I'm saying
he's not saying
I'm
that.
saying you shouldn't be.
I think we should get to the pair bonding question because that may explain a lot. Andrew, how many, in your opinion, Andrew, how many can a girl sleep with before she can no longer
Okay,
pair
so I
bond
have
with
a
her man?
controversial opinion
Okay.
on this.
Okay, let's hear it.
No, but here's the first thing, and I want to actually get you girls' opinions because I'm here to learn. I'm not going to pretend I know it all. Well, I do, but I'm being nice.
Pretending.
I'm pretending. I would argue a woman can only truly deeply fall in love 1, 2, max maybe 3 times. Would you
I agree. Yes,
I agree.
100%.
You fall in love once. You can only truly, deeply, with all of your heart, fall in love 1, 2, maybe max 3 times, and after that, it just doesn't feel the same anymore.
No, I agree.
I agree.
I agree
My
with
fiance is the only man I've been truly in love with. My first love was like puppy love, I would say. I felt like I loved him. It was 4 years long, but I was young. It was puppy love. This is my first relationship where I'm really, genuinely, truly in love. So I would agree with you.
I don't think you can fall in love over and over again.
Actually, I've only fallen in love once.
Okay.
Exactly.
So
But
why?
you're 20, right?
funny, yeah.
Yeah.
It makes sense. You're young.
But I had a baby with the person.
That's
so.
good.
It's okay.
Well, that's beautiful.
Yeah.
And children are
with him?
beautiful.
Can you be with him? Do you want to get with him for the sake of your baby, maybe?
Girl, he's in jail.
Been there. Play the soundtrack. But the point I'm making is women only fall in love 1, 2, let's assume 3 times.
Yeah.
A man can fall in love over and over and over and over.
No.
I feel like it's
let me give you-
promiscuous.
Well, I'll give you another thought experiment. This is a thought experiment. If a woman sleeps with 20 or 30 or 40 or 50 men, and then the perfect man comes along who's very nice to her and treats her well, etc., because of what I just discussed earlier with the fact that people argue and nothing's perfect and she has unlimited options, she's likely to cheat on that guy and eventually leave him. Whereas if a man sleeps with 50 women, and then the perfect little virgin angel who obeys him and does everything he says comes along, he's going to be obsessed with her. He's going to fall in love with her completely and utterly. Men can fall in love at any point during their history. Get 1, 2, 3 shots max.
Yep.
Then they die inside. Their hearts die inside, and they become gold diggers.
It's true.
This is the guys. This is the current cycle of society. The current cycle of society is this: men and women fall in love at a young age, teenage love, whatever. It doesn't work because young age never works, right? People used to get married back then. No one gets married anymore. And if you don't get married, you don't have a kid young, it's going to end. Then they go out there, they find another guy they like, they fall in love. And then eventually he cheats, so they leave him because they've been told by society, leave a man the second he cheats. Then they get another guy, and that works for a while, and then it breaks up. Break up, go through a guy, break up, go through a guy. Most don't even want to be. They just keep going looking for this impossible standard that they see on Instagram. I want a man who brings me a G-Wagon full of roses and never cheats and flies me on jets and he's 6'8" and makes $10 million a month. That's what I want. That's what I deserve, girl. I saw on TikTok. And they go through life looking for this unrealistic. They don't even mean to be. They're just going from dude to dude trying to find something that doesn't exist. And eventually, after they've had enough, their heart dies and they think, I'll just chase the bag. And then they become gold diggers. No, that's the current cycle of society on repeat. That's all that's happening.
How does it off of what the cycle goes?
Hold on. One at a time, go ahead.
How do you break that cycle? Because there has to be something that society as a whole can do to address that, because it's a really sad thing.
It is.
No, it really is.
It absolutely is. And we need to prioritize the only thing that actually matters in the world. And that, for me, the only thing that matters between a man and a woman is a child.
Babies.
I think it's beautiful that you have a child. I think it's a good thing. And nobody talks about that. We talk about, you meet a partner, you should be in a relationship, or even people who push the idea of marriage. Personally, and this is controversial, a lot of people disagree with me. Fuck the marriage. The kid matters more than the marriage. The marriage is a piece of paper, bro.
I saw your ex post. It was on point. Honestly, people were like, I want to be married. I want the big wedding. I want all of this stuff. That's a transaction.
Of course.
I completely agree with that post that you made. 100%.
If we're dating from their teens, understanding their primary objective in life is to have beautiful children, then people would stay together longer. But most at the age of 17 are getting with a man saying, I want kids when I'm 30. So what, you're going to be with this guy for 13 long years? No way. Of course you're going to break up. And then you're going to get another guy, and of course you're going to break up with him. If a woman decides she doesn't want kids till she's old, or older, sorry, the point is, it's nearly impossible to be with one guy, because humans are humans, and we argue and we fight. I can tell you now, the number one I'm prepared to sit down and try and work it out with are the mothers of my kids because we have a kid.
Yeah.
If I'm with some girl and she me off and we ain't got a kid, it's like, well, get the out of here. You think there's not another 19-year-old in Miami?
I don't have an attachment.
Get the out of here.